into our Kingsman: The Golden Circle movie review. I had the chance to see this on Thursday. I believe you just actually came back from seeing it just
a couple hours ago. Yes,
a couple hours ago. I'll go ahead and let you give your thoughts on it first, and then I'll go over and give mine.
Okay, when I went into Kingsman Golden Circle, I was just hoping that it was at least as good as the first one, and I feel I got that. I enjoyed the set pieces. I enjoyed the comedy. I enjoyed the violence. I thought Poppy was a pretty good villain. I enjoyed the set. I enjoyed her way her lair was designed, and all this and all like that. And I enjoyed the stories. The stakes of the story were pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I agree with you. I enjoyed it. I did. I thought I may have enjoyed parts of it more than I enjoyed the first one. But that is fully realizing and accepting that there was a lot wrong with it too. I don't really agree that Poppy was a good villain. I thought she was a little. I mean, of course, it was over the top. The movie's it's like a James Bond spoof, so it's going to be extra. But I thought she was a little a little too much for me to find believable. And then
I see this about that believability thing. I see once I'm introduced to the world for what happened at the end of the first Kingsman movie, I'll believe anything you present to me in the world of the Kingsman at this point.
Right.
Because at this point, you already showed me that this world's over the top. These things can happen, so it's like whatever you present to me, come with it, because you've already established that this world isn't set in the real world. Right. It's set in a pseudo real world, with these fantastic villains behind the scenes.
And I really want to go into a more spoiler discussion after the show, probably, but there was something that happened. I'm not going to spoil it, guys, but at the end with Poppy and a couple other characters that need to be discussed.
Okay.
But and this isn't a spoiler, but I didn't feel like there was a lot of the Statesman. I was really wanting to see a little bit more of the Statesman, especially since my favorite actor Jeff Bridges was one of them.
I'm thinking what this was. This is kind of like the similar thing they do on TV called a backdoor pilot.
Right.
Where like, okay, you like these characters. What if we were to introduce these characters to this and see how y'all feel about them? Then maybe the next one would be just about them.
And ironically enough, Matthew Vaughn wanting to direct Man of Steel 2 after Zack Snyder, who is known for going over 3 hours in his original cuts of his films, Matthew Vaughn says that there is a 3.5 hour cut of this movie that we might end up probably seeing on Blu-ray. I don't know if it's not getting Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman hate enough for them to go ahead and throw it into theaters, but maybe we might get an extended cut of this on Blu-ray, which I would like to see, because there is I really enjoyed every actor in this movie, even Julianne Moore, who I thought was still
the reason why I enjoyed Poppy as a villain, because they played her as crazy, but they didn't do the kind of thing they do with those kind of characters where she's calm voice at certain moments, and then she gets crazy, erratic, and violent at other moments.
Right. She kept it level.
She kept the same level throughout the whole movie, no matter what she was doing.
Right.
And I thought that was clever that they did that, because it shows you that how deranged she actually is, that she can be this calm and collected while doing all this horrible stuff.
Yeah, but and I thought Pedro Pascal. What was the funny part? I had never heard of Pedro Pascal. I didn't at first. I thought this was like a de-aged Colin Firth, like as a statesman. It was like wow. It was like, is that they're not gonna address the fact? But I thought he looked a whole lot like Colin Firth for a little while, and it looked like he was wearing makeup and stuff. But man, it took me a little while to realize that was his own character.
Yeah, that was Pedro Pascal from Narcos on Netflix.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Man, I have to watch that one, because he was really good in this movie. I thought he
played whiskey very well.
Yes, I mean, there was parts with his story that, like I said, we'll talk about later. But yeah, he was. I thought he was excellent. I thought Halle Berry was great. There were parts with her story that messed me up a little bit. That had kind of like I feel like it was a little bit of a plot hole or some other direction that they could have gone with her character, which they didn't. But she was still great.
Channing Tatum was always
excellent. He was hilarious.
He was hilarious in that movie. I enjoyed Channing Tatum. He was in the movie very briefly.
Yes.
But every time he was on screen, I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Especially when he first arrived. That was awesome.
Right. And obviously, Colin Firth. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. Colin Firth is in this movie, and I think he's even in the poster. I don't know, but he is. So yeah.
And all the standees and everything. So they in the very first trailer they revealed that he was still alive. So
right.
That's not a spoiler.
No. He didn't feel he didn't feel like much of his character from the first, but that was because he was not playing for the part. He was not. What's his character? Galahad.
He was not for a majority of the movie. He was just Harry,
right? Not
Galahad.
Yeah, Galahad. Yeah, for the most, he didn't feel like Harry to me, even whenever he did. I'm not going to talk about that part.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, he didn't feel like Harry to me for the most part. But that was he was. Because the movie was not focused on him. They didn't focus on him much in the first one either. And there was a lot in this story that felt like they had to make up some backstory with him and Harry. Because we saw his relationship from beginning to end in the first one. So they added some stuff into this one that we didn't probably happen. But they made it. They wanted us to believe that it did. What's up? Talk in your mic. Nobody can hear you.
Night Hippie Chick 90 asks, how will your Netflix live and show work?
Yeah, we're going to talk about our Patreon probably right after this review. Have you given all your thoughts on the movie?
Yeah.
No. Okay. You have, though. You have, though?
Oh, say what you're going to say and may trigger something in my head.
The other thing I really enjoyed in this movie was the music.
Oh, yes. Very clever use of music.
Guys, if you have not been tired of listening to John Denver from Alien Covenant, John Denver, Country Roads Take Me Home, Okja, Annie Song, this one, Annie Song and Country Roads Take Me Home. I think there was even another movie this year that had John Denver, but man, he's back again in his music, and it's very prominent in this. Yes, uniquely used. I actually absolutely love.
Every time you heard a song you were recognizing this movie, it wasn't just played for the sake of playing it. It actually served the point of the story, and it was very cool when they used it.
And there's a certain pop rock and roll singer in this movie that was excellent.
Yeah. This movie. He got every little bit of we got every little bit of our money's worth out of his character.
Okay, and then the other thing that bugged me quite a bit, actually, that took a little bit away was the overuse of the that's the church scene that was pretty much the only one that they used it in the first movie is all over this movie. They use it pretty much for every single fight scene, and I could have used that a lot less.
I actually thought that added to the action scenes to me. I enjoyed that.
Really?
Yeah. It actually gave it that frenetic pace of, it gave it a frenetic pace of like, this is what they've been trained to do, and that's how they can do it so efficiently.
Yeah.
It gave it that edge that this is easy for them.
Well, I liked the fight scene, but you know what I'm talking about, the frantic camera work. Where
that's what I'm talking about. It actually adds to it because it gives it that urgency of, we gotta get rid of these dudes quick because there's more coming. We gotta keep moving.
Right.
We gotta keep moving and moving around so we not stationary too long, and plus we can keep moving forward to our goal. It added to that, and I thought that was cool that they kept that.
I just wish it stayed realistic. They used a lot of CGI for most of those fight scenes that kind of took me out of it a little bit. But I mean, it still was fun. It was still fun. I just think I would have rather have seen it done done a little bit differently a few less times.
And when you're fighting a certain character with a certain special limb, I kind of can give the CGI use in a fight scene a pass.
Yeah, but I think that's really it. That I can say as far as I can say without spoiling the movie. I think we covered most of So it. I definitely will add that to my collection. I want to see it again in theaters. There's a lot of movies I have to watch in theaters. There's a lot of movies I've said that I want to see again that I probably won't have time to see. But I definitely enjoyed Kingsman. I thought it was a worthy sequel, and I'm excited to see more if there's going to be a third movie. I feel like there is going to be a third.
If this one does well, we're going to get Kingsman 3.
Yes.
So what's your score?
My score? I will give it... I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I was thinking about it. I was feeling 8 as well. Because like I said, I enjoyed it just as much as the first one, but I have to give the first one a slight edge because
there was more heart in the first one. I'll give it that. There were some emotional scenes, some tension that I felt. I did not feel that so much in this one. There wasn't a lot of...
in certain scenes, I felt it a little bit. Like, I felt those certain moments from the first one in different ways.
Yeah. In
this one, I felt those moments. So there were hard moments that we'll get into in our spoiler review.
Yeah. So that's an 8 across the board, 8 out of 10. And I would even give the first one. I'll go ahead and give that one an 8.5 out of 10. So it's very close to what I would have scored the first one.
I'll just go ahead and give the first one a 9.
You'll give it a 9. Okay.
Because I every so often I still watch the church scene randomly, and I still enjoy it every time I see it because that scene was just so beautifully choreographed that it's like the lobby scene from The Matrix. It's iconic.
Yeah, fun. All right, so guys, so go see Kingsman: The Golden Circle. You'll enjoy yourself, and let us know what you thought. Hit us up with a message.